everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has effectively sounded the poll bugle in Bhopal today as opposition parties try to come together versus the BJP for 2024. The Prime Minister went all guns blazing against him. While terming the Patna meeting as a photo op session, he listed out various scams under the governments of the opposition parties. Taking a pot shot at the Congress, the Prime Minister said that the grand old party alone is responsible for corruption that amounts to a few lakh crore rupees. He even spoke about the need for uniform civil code in the country and slammed those who are opposing UCC or other such reforms for appeasing Muslim vote bank. The opposition levelled polarization charge on the Prime Minister and claimed that such comments are being made in Madhya Pradesh as the state polls are around the corner. While reminding the Saffron Party about Karnataka, the Congress Party went on to claim that all the corrupt instead are actually with the BJP, and now the Prime Minister fears that they will lose the 2024 battle. As we approach those 2024 general elections, the BJP is continuing to distinguish itself from the others on the issue of corruption. And this works even better as some parties try to form a club despite being opponents themselves in the past. So will corruption be the plank in 2024 again for Prime Minister Modi? We'll take that question to our guest in just a bit. But let me first bring to you what the Prime Minister said on the issue of UCC, Uniform Civil Code. This is possibly the first time the Prime Minister has spoken so strongly in favor of UCC publicly. He said people are being instigated in the name of UCC. Added that laws cannot be different for different family members. So he basically said that India is one family and there should be a simple, similar law for all. He reminded the public that the Constitution talks about the UCC as well. It's one of the directive principles. And even the Supreme Court on many occasions has pushed for the governments to bring in UCC. And this has been going on for almost 30 years. He added that opposition parties are playing, quote, vote bank politics on this issue when they instill fear, particularly in one set of Indian minorities over the UCC. But as I said, the Prime Minister didn't spare opposition parties today, especially those coming together for an alliance against the BJP. First up, he joked that don't be angry, but pity opposition parties coming together. Even in 2014 and 2019, he said, we did not see opposition parties this desperate. Those who used to abuse others are today bowing before them, he added. Their desperation shows public has decided to bring the BJP back. The Prime Minister asserted that this move and desperation of the opposition shows that, quote, BJP's massive win is certain in 2024. This is another big statement by the Prime Minister. But what was most interesting was his attack on corruption, which he linked with the opposition parties coming together, and he was quite scathing in this regard, rattling off all major scams under various parties and their governments, particularly the Congress and the UPA. So mocking the concept of Congress's guarantees, like in Karnataka, he said all opposition parties are instead a guarantee of corruption. These parties are a guarantee of several scams, he added. Parties that met in Patna, he said, are a guarantee of 20 lakh crore rupee scams. He said this while accusing these parties of corruption amounting to this sum in their political tenure. But most interestingly, he said, my guarantee is that I will not spare those involved in corruption. Now, this is eerily similar to his original anti-corruption plank for 2014 that was massively successful, coming on the back of the 10 years of the UPA. So is it going to be the same plank for 2024? That's the big debate coming up.
तो ये सारे मिलकर के कम से कम 20 लाख करोड़ के घोटाले की गारंटी है।
Prime Minister has only one process he is doing, make washing machine. Understood? All the corrupt people are with him only, Prime Minister only.
पहले अपना दुश्मन बताते थे, गालियां देते थे, अब उन लोगों को आगे जाकर वो साष्टांग प्रणाम कर रहे हैं, नतमस्तक हो रहे हैं। देश की जनता ने भाजपा को वापस लाने का मन बना लिया है।
नरेंद्र मोदी जी का पैनिक रिएक्शन हो रहा है, ये पैनिक रिएक्शन।
एक घर में परिवार के एक सदस्य के लिए एक कानून हो, परिवार के दूसरे सदस्य के लिए दूसरा कानून हो, तो क्या वो घर चल पाएगा क्या?
तो क्या यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड के नाम पे आप प्लुरलिज्म, डाइवर्सिटी को छीन लेंगे क्या आप?
Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Mohammad Asif Rahman of the TMC joining us. I'm also joined by Mohammad Nalapar of the Congress and Professor Sanjay Kumar, psephologist who tracks obviously all elections very closely in India. And I thank you all for your time. Mohammad Nalapar, let me begin with you. The Prime Minister is very clear and the BJP is very clear. What distinguishes you and a lot of the other opposition parties from the BJP is corruption. And he's continuing to hammer that point. Would you concede that this is still, despite the Congress being out of power at the center for 10 years, this is still your Achilles heel?
See, hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. I would like to ask the Prime Minister, about past 9 years, where has this all corruption cases gone? How many people have they arrested in these corruption cases? How many people have they taken from Congress and put into the BJP washing machine, converted them clean and put them in BJP? How many people do you want as countless number of people that he called corrupt? Let me start with the Assam Chief Minister, who was also labeled, called as a corrupt person. From our party, he went to BJP, he became the Chief Minister. All the cases on him was cleared. Everything that he had said, everything that he had done had been vanished. The BJP is trying to use divisive politics. They are trying to polarize the situation. Today he is talking about
Uniform Civil Code, yes.
He has failed.
I'll come to that.
By doing the
Mohammed,
same.
I'll come to that. Mohammed, let's not mix issues. Let's not mix issues. I'll come to UCC separately. But I want to understand from you, it's the Congress's refrain, particularly in the second term of the Modi government, that they are they're clamping down on dissent and on opposition leaders in the country by filing cases on them and by even jailing some of them. But here you're saying exactly the opposite. So what is your stand? Has the government acted on corruption or not acted on corruption?
Not acted at all. For the
not
last
acted at all.
Last 9 years, they had forgotten about the corruption charges. Right now, when it comes to 9 years, he didn't do any work, and now again he needs to go into election.
Then why
now he needs the reason, he needs the baggage, he needs a clear image that he's trying to create. Like he said, I will bring Kaladan, 15 lakh rupees to everyone's account. Till today, not anyone has got 15 lakh rupees in anyone's account.
Well, the Prime Minister actually did not say that, but I don't know why the BJP never fact-checks that. I'll leave that aside on the 15 lakh rupees in every person's account. But Shazia, this is a criticism of your government. And even your supporters point out that in the last 10 years, what is that one major corruption case that has seen a conclusion? A lot of cases are still pending. In 2014, I remember the cases of Robert Vadra, for example, used to be talked about a lot. I mean, nothing has happened on his case. Even the cases against Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, your chief opponents, where is it going?
So point number one, it is not the job of the government or any party to interfere with the processes of law. The very fact that there has been no swift or vendetta politics against anybody is because we believe in the rule of law and courts do their work. When push comes to shove, then there is actually cases when they found wanting. You see what's happened in the National Herald case. But none of it prompted by the party or government, because this is not the job of the government. Two, there is an inherent contradiction in what my friend just said. So far, the charge against BJP has been that it's gone hammer and tongs against the opposition on fake charges of corruption. And now our gentleman here says BJP is not doing enough.
No, he's also
So
pointing out that cases against those who join your party from other parties, they don't get followed up.
Washing machine.
Third, and the main point, for the first time in the history of independent India, do we have a government at center, Prime Minister at the helm of it, which has seen not one single scam, not one single corruption charge.
Well, certainly not a charge that has stuck.
Spotless.
Rafale was the big...
Squeaky clean.
No, okay, the Rafale was the big charge that the opposition made. It went up till the Supreme Court and actually did not stick.
To have led a completely spotless, clean, brilliant government, 9 years, and every ministry, every department, whether it comes to transparency or propriety, not one case can be made against any minister compared to all prime ministers of yesteryears.
Okay, fair enough. Let me go across to Mohammad Tausif of the TMC as well, because the Prime Minister talked about not just the Congress, but virtually all opposition parties that were meeting together in Patna. Mohammad, you know, even in the last few terms of Mamata Banerjee government, there have been corruption charges that are tumbling out of the closet, even, you know, touching several ministers, high-profile people who are considered to be close to Mamata Banerjee, and she has had to relent. She has had to, you know, sack those ministers and accept that there was corruption, at least by those ministers. So I ask you the same question I asked the Congress representative. Isn't corruption your Achilles heel? And Shazia has a point. Regardless of charges thrown at the Modi government, at the center, there's been no scam. And it's a complete contrast to the UPA time.
Ma'am, when you talk about scam, the irony of life is very sad. हमारे लोगों को वही दिखाया जा रहा है जो वो देखना चाहते हैं और अभी तक उनको सच्चाई दिखाई नहीं गई है. बट यू नो 2024
नहीं, बताइए क्या सच्चाई है. एक सेकंड नहीं मोहम्मद जी, बताइए क्या सच्चाई है स्कैम को लेके जो नहीं दिखाई जा रही.
Ma'am, it will come very soon. It will come very soon because, you know, the misusing of central agencies are there, but it will come very soon. But again, I'll tell you.
Are you saying this in context of charges against TMC, or are you saying that there are scams of the BJP that are not coming out?
Please clarify. Scams of the BJP, of course, from money laundering, from demonetization, everything will come very soon. But let me complete my statement. 2024.
You mean demonetization? That's also gone to court. What's the corruption there? Okay, let him finish.
It's all right.
You don't know.
I won't speak. If you don't want to let me speak, I won't speak.
You're so immersed in corruption that you don't know.
Okay, let him finish. Shazia, then you respond. Let him finish, then you respond. Yeah.
Shazia ji, just listen to me. 2024 will be a different election altogether. People will not just see the opening ceremony and foreign trips and vacation, but the people of India will ask the work chart what Modi has done in last 9 years. Well, I was hearing Smriti ji and Sushil Modi ji as well. They both were confident it was totally fake.
Mohammad Tausif ji, please come back to the question I asked you. Let's discuss corruption. Yes, go ahead.
No. When you talk about the unity, what will happen about the unity? They were charging Mamata Banerjee how once the opposition treated her. Like Modi also said right now, जो पहले लड़ते थे, वो आज साथ में हैं. तो आपने एलके अडवाणी को अलग क्यों कर दिया?
नहीं, I'm not asking you about that. Mohammad Tausif,
I mean, what is this?
Mohammad Tausif, I did not ask you about the unity of the opposition.
Why are you panicking?
One second, one by one. Please don't speak over each other. And Mohammad, just Mohammad and I, please.
The biggest political party
Mohammad, if you do it, if you function like this, then it becomes problematic. I want to give you the time, but please answer my question. I will go topic by topic. I'll come to the unity issue. I'm not discussing that right now. Speak about the corruption issue. Don't you think if this becomes the 2024 plank, that is trouble for TMC, for RJD, for Congress?
No. I am telling you, since 2016, the ED is knocking Bengal's door and they have raided more than 49 places and arrested few of them, but without any charge sheet. Why aren't they coming with a charge sheet and arresting all the TMC leaders and sending them to jail? Are they keeping them to blackmail for 2024? This is not going to happen, ma'am. And it is not only about corruption charges. It is about misusing of central agencies. Money versus dollar, rupee versus dollar, unemployment, economic blunders, betrayal of farmers.
Okay, fair enough. You're saying there are other issues than just corruption and issues that once again, and issues that the central government will have to answer for. Very quickly, I want to go to Sanjay ji as well. Sanjay ji, in the many surveys that you do, how high does corruption rank still as far as citizens are concerned when they vote?
No, see, when there are two issues about that. First, if you ask people's opinion about corruption, they seems very disturbed when they get to know that there are charges of corruption against any government, any minister. So they feel very disturbed. They express very strong opinion. But when it comes to voting, on the issue on the issue of corruption, large number of people don't consider that as an important issue while voting. So they vote on different other consideration, be it say unemployment, price rise, maybe Ram Mandir, maybe nationalism. But corruption is very low on voters' priority as an issue which shapes their voting decision. If I look at 2019 election and several state assembly elections which was held after 2019, and if I recollect and enlist the various issues, so corruption is sometimes at number 7, sometimes at number 10, sometimes at number 6. It is not in the first 5 issues which are the prime considerations of voting for the Indian voters.
Can I ask you a follow-up very quickly before I move to UCC? Prime Minister's big image and pitch in 2014 was "Na khaunga, na khane dunga." Now, of course, critics may differ, but the BJP can by and large say, in a country that has the record like India does of the central governments, his government has been clean and he has not allowed any corruption at the highest echelons of the government under his nose. Do you think that is one of his strong suits when people vote for him?
No, absolutely. Prime Minister Modi is a vote puller for BJP, and one of the traits which people like about Prime Minister Modi, along with other traits, is that he is honest. He has been able to run a government which is honest. I'm saying this is the popular perception. I'm not saying whether the government is honest or not, but that's a very popular perception that Prime Minister Modi himself is an honest person. He has not allowed any corruption to creep in the central government.
Okay. Yes, Mohammed Nalapad wants to come in very quickly, please.
Ma'am, what happened in Karnataka? Why did the BJP lose the state in Karnataka? Because of 40% commission, because of Pay CM campaign. The people of Karnataka voted out BJP and Narendra Modi just because of corruption. If Narendra Modi ji and the Modi government was so clean and they didn't have anything to hide, then why didn't they punish the people in the state government?
Fair enough.
Why didn't they remove the...
Fair enough, but I think we do know, Mr. Nalapad, I think we do know when we talk about state elections and central elections, we are looking at 2 different cups of tea altogether. There have been, for example, before 2019, when the Prime Minister was up for re-election, there were other BJP-ruled states that did see charges of corruption. That did not impact the BJP's performance at the centre. Let's just stick to the centre. I'm not really getting into each state's issue because they are diverse.
Let me be very clear. Yeah. Corruption is going to be a major issue.
Okay.
Just because his corruption is not come out in the public, the way that it came out in the UPA too, it doesn't mean that people do not know the depth of corruption.
But Mohammed, if it doesn't come out, then how will people know? I don't understand what you're talking about.
The relationship between Adani ji and Modi, the question asked by Rahul Gandhi in the parliament, and Rahul Gandhi being removed from parliament, these things are going to be stuck in the people's mind, and people are going to ask for people are going to vote these people out
fair enough. Fair enough. But I don't think the issues which Rahul Gandhi was raising was about corruption. I think he was raising issues about promotion of one versus the other.
Corruption.
No, they didn't talk about... I discussed that issue. One second. Mamaji, don't get excited.
Getting somebody a contract is not corruption.
One second. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I discussed it at that time and the Congress insisted we are not talking about the government making money. We are just talking about impropriety as far as contracts are concerned. That's a separate issue, but I'm not really discussing that. No, Shazia, very quickly, I have to discuss UCC very quickly. 30 seconds, please. Shazia.
Yes, no, let me finish the point on. So we all know what charges Rahul Gandhi made against this government and particularly Prime Minister on the matter of Rafale and Chaukidar and what came out of it. They see the problem with these parties is they can't even imagine or fathom that there is a world beyond corruption, that governance is possible without corruption, that governments do come to power and can provide governance.
One by one.
Let me finish.
One by one. Nalapad, one by one. Please lower his volume. Yes, Shazia, finish, please.
So it's the first time in the last 9 years that people are experiencing a government at the center.
Okay, fair enough.
You see, Manmohan Singh's government was a Gangotri of scams, when Congress party, it's a scam party. That's all they're known for. They're the synonym for scams.
Okay, fair enough.
And TMC, Abhay Tosri was very upset now because Abhishek Banerjee is being quizzed now for teacher scam. Imagine recruitment of primary school teachers. There you taking money. Imagine the injustice you're doing to people, to students, to the future of Bengal. look at the deep level of corruption. I mean, it's sad.
Okay.
It's nauseating.
Shazia.
But coming to UCC, UCC is enshrined as a directive principle in our constitution. I feel it's a tad too late. It should have happened earlier. And if you see and read the Constituent Assembly debates, you will realize that whether it was Ambedkar ji or it was Rajendra Prasad, they differed with Nehru ji on this issue.
But can I ask you a
Came
question
in,
on
it was
that?
left to the discretion of Article 24 and directive principles. I think it's time and this has been BJP's stand for the longest period.
I get
So,
that, but the question that is coming in, one second,
But-
Shazia ji, please take a question. The question that is coming in from the opposition today is that why are you remembering UCC now? 9 years into your government, barely 12 months ahead of the next elections.
giving that
One
answer.
time the law ministry says there is no need for it, it's not the right time, and then suddenly few months later it changes its stance.
Because that is what, because this has come back because of the Law Commission. And manifesto has stated this. This has been an integral part of what BJP is. Some of us are attracted to BJP because of this. This has been the stand of BJP as opposed to every party. If following the constitution and its directive principles is a part of the party.
I get that this has been one of your three big promises. No, I get that this has been one of your three big promises, along with abrogation of Article 370 and the construction of the Ram Temple. But why is it happening after 9 years of Prime Minister Modi in power? But let me go across. Yes?
I'm answering, Shivani.
Yeah.
If you just let me finish it. I was answering that actually. We waste so much time going back and forth. So the Law Commission has actually said that the opinions must be sought. It was done even earlier.
Yes.
And then it was felt that it was not needed. So it has come actually from the courts and now the Law Commission of India. And BJP has given its age-old, its declared principle on UCC, on which some of us firmly stand, and I feel there should be no gender discrimination.
Okay, but in 2016, what you're talking about,
of this country.
One second, the Law Commission at that time said that there is no need for UCC right now. It's neither necessary nor desirable at this stage. I'm just wondering, will the government explain what has changed? But anyways, I leave that aside. Yes, let me go across to...
the Law Commission has just asked for... The Law Commission has just asked for opinions.
Yeah, that generally means you are going to move in the direction...
Simple.
No, it generally means you're going to move in the direction of tabling a bill.
And you see...
Okay, fair enough. Shazia ji, I have limited time, so let me just go across to our other panelists as well. Let me go across to Mohammad Tausif as well. Mohammad Tausif, the Prime Minister is categorical in putting his weight behind UCC. What is the issue with the UCC? Why not back it? It's going to be for everybody, all Indians.
Ma'am, this is what I'm telling every day and continuously I'm speaking like they started with Babri Masjid, Ram Mandir, then they were playing with Pulwama attack. Now they have UCC. This is the reason why BJP is slowly and gradually losing all these states. Now, what is the problem? If BJP is so famous and Narendra Modi has done so much work, why are they losing all these states? Now, the only thing is that BJP should show their work chart. I'm talking in a lame language for the people of India. BJP should come forward and show what they have done in 9 years, beside with opening ceremonies, ribbon cutting and fake promises. Aapne kiya kya in 10 saalon mein? Just come forward and show it to us and let all the opposition parties bring their work chart and let's decide and let's vote. Because I'm telling you, every time, 2024 will not be the election same as 2019. It will be a very different election.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question.
People have started thinking about
What
it.
is the issue with the UCC?
They have opened their eyes. They will ask what you have done for us. Besides all this massacre, communal violence, demonetization, rupee versus dollar, everything is going down. We cannot eat food. The poor is becoming more poorer. The rich is becoming richer.
Mohammad, you have to discuss the issue we are discussing. How are you going to do this otherwise? You have to discuss the issue we are discussing.
Will come forward.
No, but I asked you what is the issue with the UCC. Can you elucidate your party position?
No, UCC will come forward. But this is not the time for UCC. Is it very mandatory to work with UCC right now?
Then
I mean, any UCC in states? It is not mandatory at all. We have larger problems in state right now.
Okay.
So India is under an emergency situation, ma'am. Why don't you understand that?
Gender discrimination should be allowed to prevail.
People are not interested with UCC right now.
Mohammad Nalapad,
We need a stable economy. Right now, we need stable economy. We don't have that. Again, you're talking about Ram
we
Mandir,
allow
Pulwama,
discrimination.
UCC, Hindu
TMC is
Muslim,
officially
kaun
stating
gaye
that it's
khayega, kaun kya
against
khayega.
laws.
Again, this all
There's
petty
no
things will
equity
start.
for his daughters.
You
of the
want
country.
votes. You
The
want
daughters
votes
of the
according to
country,
these
sisters
things.
of the country must
These
be
are your
discriminated
issues.
against.
Okay.
Because TMC believes in the vote bank politics.
Okay,
They-
that's exactly what the Prime Minister said. Okay, both of you have to pull out, please. Let me go across to Mohammed Nalapad. He's waiting patiently. The Prime Minister has been categorical, Mohammed, that the reason why triple talaq was opposed or abolishing of triple talaq was opposed or the reason why UCC is opposed is because Muslims are being seen as a vote bank. And you're catering to a particular section of the Muslims, which are the hardline, particularly male clergy. You're not looking at the women who may want UCC because it gives them greater parity. And he talked about how triple talaq or UCC doesn't affect women alone, Muslim women alone. It will affect all families.
Ma'am, I disagree with the Prime Minister at only one point. What he says, let him agree, whatever his argument he accept. But for the last 9 years, where was he? For the 9 years when he is in power, when he has the absolute majority to pass whatever he wanted, why didn't he take up UCC?
So why
is
do
he
you
bringing
think?
it in the last moment, just before election? Why is he trying to polarize things? So who is using Muslims as a vote bank? Is it the BJP or the Congress? The BJP does this at every election juncture. When it comes to election, it brings up a Hindu-Muslim issue.
This is not a Hindu-Muslim issue. That's precisely what I'm saying. We need to get out of this narrative that UCC is a Hindu versus Muslim issue. This is an issue for everybody.
That is what the Prime Minister is trying to do. What was he doing in the last 9 years?
Okay, fair enough.
He had the absolute majority.
But he still has that. He still has about 8-9 months of his government left. It's not going to not do anything. But can I just add, there's an election every year in India. Every 6 months there are state elections. So anytime something, once again, anytime something happens, the pat reply cannot be that this election is coming or that election is coming. We cannot be held hostage to elections.
Very simple. The last 9 years, why didn't the Prime Minister bring up UCC?
I asked Shazia that question.
Just before the 2024 election?
Okay. I want to give Sanjay Kumar a final word on the issue of UCC itself. The Prime Minister and the BJP believes that reforms help them come closer to the Muslim community. They often talk about how Muslim women are supporting them in past elections. Can you just give me just a broad perspective of how Muslim women are looking at the BJP?
Shivani, I don't get any evidence of Muslim voters shifting in favor of BJP, whether it is Muslim men or Muslim women. It is true that in some states or in some constituencies where there are sizable number of Muslim voters, BJP has managed to win those elections, whether in a state assembly or Lok Sabha election. But that doesn't mean, that's not an evidence to suggest BJP managed to win those constituencies because Muslim women have voted in their favor. At least from our studies, we don't get any evidence that there is any shift of Muslim women support in favor of BJP.
I'll leave it at that. I'm running out of time. We will, of course, discuss UCC in detail as we go on. I do thank our guests for joining us.